hope so. That's funny, my guys are guessing the same thing that Emily had said. She said she thought at first.
You never know, honey. They might be sleeping or somewhere else.
Sunday Song Award, as we say in Harambe, Chwende, which means let's go. Jumbo, guys. Jumbo means hello in Swahili, so Jumbo. My name is Hannah, and I'll be your safari guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, for your safety and the safety of those around you, we ask that you please remain fully seated throughout the entire safari, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. There is no standing, even if we're stopped. Also, please do not hold up children like Simba from The Lion King as well. We're going to be hitting some rough terrain out there, and it is going to be a bumpy ride, so hold on tightly to all your loose articles. If anything falls out, we cannot stop the vehicle to grab anything. Look above your head, you'll see the animal spotting guide up there. That will help you identify some of the animals we might get to see out on the reserve. Now, we might not get to see all those animals, but usually we do have pretty good luck. We're starting our safari here in the Little Ituri Forest, filled with very shy animals who like to use their natural camouflage to blend in with their surroundings, because that's their main defense against predators. One of those animals here is on the right-hand side. That is the okapi. As you can see, the okapi has a reddish-brown coloration with some white stripes on its legs. Kind of looks like a zebra because of those stripes. But the okapi is actually the only relative of the giraffe. Okapis are very shy and reclusive forest animals that have been known for generations here in Africa, but were actually just more recently discovered in 1901 by Westerners. In fact, they were thought to be a mythological creature before they were officially discovered. We also have some birds on the right here next to the watering hole. Black and white birds. Those are saddle-billed storks, the tallest stork species in Africa, standing up to 5 feet tall. You can see the yellow coloration on their bill, which gets their name, saddle-billed stork, because it kind of resembles a saddle. And they are normally found in pairs, as you can see. This is because they mate for life. Now, across the water, coming up on our left, right next to that pile of rocks, you see a black rhino right there. Kind of blends in with the rocks, so look closely. I got very, very lucky to find a black rhino because there's less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world. Unfortunately, they are being poached for their horns. But guys, the rhino horn's made of the same exact material as your hair and your fingernails, called keratin. Some countries will turn their horns into medicine, but it's been proven rhino horns have no medicinal value. On the right past the tall grass and also the bushes, you can see some bongos blending in nicely up there. Now, due to the bongo's camouflage, they are given the nickname the Ghost of the Forest, because they are rarely ever found here in Africa. And about 20% of their population has declined over the last 3 generations due to habitat loss and deforestation. By recycling, we can help forest animals so they do not lose their homes to any more deforestation. We're at the edge of the Ituri Forest and making our way down to the Safi River now, home to Africa's most dangerous river animals. So keep your eye on the water down here for any signs of movement, like ripples, bubbles, or shadows. Didn't have to look too long because I actually see some hippos coming up on our right next to that log sticking out of the water there. Looks like it's just sleeping in the water. Too bad. Hippos are actually one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. They have 18-inch long incisors used for territorial displays and defense, not for eating because they are vegetarians. You can see more here on the left-hand side. They spend up to 20 hours a day underwater, holding their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. But hippos actually cannot swim. They walk along the bottom of rivers. Some white birds over here as well, called pink-backed pelicans, which are named after the pink coloration that will appear on its back during mating season. They are colonial nesters, nesting together in large groups that can consist of 500 individuals all in one nest, and also have a long wingspan that can stretch up to 9 feet in length. Got some Nile crocodiles on our left here. It's actually our first predator we've found so far. Nile crocodiles are the largest crocodilian in Africa. They can be up to 18 feet in length and weigh up to 500 pounds. Now, their diet is mainly fish, but they are capable of taking down anything like a zebra, a wildebeest, or even a giraffe. Bite force is 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, which is powerful enough to crush the bones of its prey. Now we are heading a bit further into the reserve and entering the Savanna, home to Africa's most famous animals, like elephants or giraffes. On the right-hand side there, you can see a large tree called a baobab tree, also known as the upside-down tree because it appears upside down. They go leafless 9 months out of the year to help it conserve water, and have been known to live thousands of years, giving it its nickname, Tree of Life. Now, this is definitely one of the most beautiful views on the reserve, overlooking the Serengeti grasslands and all the animals. The savanna is heavily influenced by the animals inhabiting it. Elephants are the bulldozers, bulldozing down trees to eat them. Giraffes trim the underside of trees, while antelope mow the grass, helping keep the landscape as beautiful and balanced as possible. Speaking of giraffes, I do see one there on that right side, right next to the warden. Looks like a Maasai giraffe because of its irregular spot pattern. There's actually 9 different types found throughout Africa. Of course, tallest land mammal, standing about 18 to 20 feet in length. Also, tiny antelope over there called a springbok. Springbok are the 3rd fastest land mammal in the world, reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Getting their name from their ability to spring 6 feet in the air repeatedly when frightened, also up to 13 feet in the air to get away from predators, which is called running. Look on that left side, guys. I do see a pack of African wild dogs, also known as painted dogs or painted wolves, named after the pattern on their fur, which is unique to each dog, just like our fingerprints and how they tell each other apart. African wild dogs are considered the most successful hunters in Africa, far exceeding big cats, and this comes from their ability to hunt in packs and pursue prey until their prey drops from exhaustion. They have an 80% success rate when it comes to hunting, while lions only have a 20% success rate. Some more antelope there on the left, called sable antelope. They are the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, with some long, thin horns on top of their heads, which helps deter lions and other predators from jumping on their necks. Right over here are some termite mounds coming out of the ground. These are made of soil, dung, and saliva, and they are hard as concrete. Many animals like to use them as a scratching post, which helps wear them down and make them flat, allowing tiny antelope to stand on top of them and use them as a vantage point so they can keep an eye out for potential predators. Actually, a little bit closer to the springbok over here, and the giraffe right next to the tree. Now, giraffes like to spend about 18 hours out of their day just eating. It's pretty much all they do. They use their 18-inch long prehensile tongue to grab leaves on top of trees. Their tongue is also dark in coloration to help protect it from the sun, so it does not get sunburnt. Oh, lots more giraffes coming on up ahead here. Also some white-bearded wildebeest up on top of the hill there, which are called gnus in Africa, GNU, referring to the low grunting sound they make. Baby giraffe right next to the bush there. Should be about 6 months old based on its size. Calves are extremely vulnerable to predators, so they have to learn how to walk within the first hour of life. And giraffe calves are actually born up to 6 feet tall. Adult giraffes are rarely attacked by predators because they're known for having a powerful kick that is capable of breaking the jaw of a lion and can run pretty fast at up to 35 miles an hour over short distances. More on this left side. They can also use their 2 knobs on their heads for defense, which are called ossicones. Males will mostly use those ossicones to fight with another male for dominance. Inkoli cattle there on the right, or Watusi cattle, named after the tribe that domesticated them. Long horns on their heads, which are about 4 to 5 feet in length and weigh up to 15 pounds. They're hollow with a honeycomb structure of blood vessels on the inside, so blood just flows through their horns while excess heat is dispersed out of the body, helping to act as their own personal air conditioning system on their heads. We're heading into Tembo country now, which is swapping for elephant. I see one of those elephants here on the right-hand side with one of the wardens. Most likely doing their research. Looks like a young male African elephant. You can tell based on his size and based on the fact that he's alone. Female elephants will live together in herds because they have a close family bond, but males are picked out of that herd as a teenager to live alone, or sometimes live in a small, loose bachelor herd. Fully grown males weigh up to 13,000 pounds, while females are a little over half that, weighing up to 7,000 pounds. So since we do see a male back there, we're going to keep moving forward and see if we can come across a much larger herd of females.
What's that orange thing sticking up?
Great sign over here, we'll find more elephants because we're passing by red clay pits. Elephants love to eat red clay because it's a good source of minerals in their diet. You can even see their tusk marks and feet marks here in the clay, so it looks like they've been over here recently. Now, unfortunately, elephants are facing extinction because they're being poached for their ivory tusks. Approximately 96 elephants per day are being poached, which is 1 elephant every 15 minutes. If that keeps up, they could be extinct in the wild sometime within the next 12 years. Elephants are also losing their homes due to habitat loss, and this is because they live near coltan. Coltan is a metallic ore inside all of your electronic devices, such as your cell phone. By simply recycling old electronic devices, you can help protect elephants from sharing increasingly smaller areas with humans. You can also help by visiting local zoos and supporting various conservation efforts out there, such as the Disney Conservation Fund here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Got a couple of females over here. Let's go ahead by the watering hole. A couple more of them down there, a little bit closer for us to see. Speaking of water, elephants drink up to 42 gallons of water a day and can hold up to 5 gallons of water inside of their trunk. They can even use those baobab trees as a good source of water during a drought by just sticking their tusks inside the trees to make holes to get the stored water out. And of course, it's a very hot day here in Africa, so you can see these elephants flapping their ears over here. It's a great way to regulate body temperature. It can reduce their temperature by up to 15 degrees. Some flamingos are over in the watering hole over here. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Greater flamingos are the tallest flamingo species, standing up to 5 feet tall and weighing up to 10 pounds, and are also the lightest pink of all flamingo species. Flamingos get their light pink color from the brine shrimp in their diet. They are filter feeders. Oh, a couple of different animals over here. I do see an ostrich right next to the mud wallow. Also, a white rhino past this tree here on the left. Now, white rhinos are the largest species of rhino in the world, weighing up to 5,000 pounds. They're actually not white, they're a light gray color. They just get their name white from the Afrikaans word white rhino, and that translates to wide. It refers to its wide, square mouth. Just got lost in translation and stuck. Their wide mouth helps them graze very efficiently. While instead, the black rhino has a prehensile, pointy upper lip, which will help it browse off bushes. It's next to a mud wallow over here. Rhinos love to roll around in mud. It's like a natural sunscreen for them to protect their sensitive skin, regulate body temperature, and even get rid of some parasites that may be on their skin. You can also charge pretty fast at up to 35 miles an hour. Now let's go see this ostrich up here. It's the largest bird in the world. Males stand up to 9 feet tall. This looks like a female right here. We can tell because of her light brown feathers. Males have black feathers with white tips. They are flightless birds, only using those large wings to help steer them while they run. And they can run pretty fast at up to 40 miles an hour and can even keep that speed for over 2 hours. Up ahead, here's a rock formation called Kopi Rocks. And it looks like in the center of the Kopi Rocks, we have a male African lion up there, right in the center.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
It looks like he's sleeping, of course. Lions sleep about 16 to 20 hours out of their day. So on average, they're only awake for 3 hours of their lifetime. They are nocturnal, much more active at night, because that's when they like to do their hunting. Their eyesight in the dark is 6 times greater than our eyesight. It's the female lion's job to do the hunting for the pride, while males just spend their time guarding their territory and cubs. You can actually see one of the lionesses up there on the left. Prides can average about 15 members, consisting of a dominant male, females that are all related, and cubs. Little white rhinos over here. And Bontabak, those tiny antelope, which are related to the wildebeest. Now guys, about 25 years ago when The Lion King came out, there was about 200,000 lions in the world, but today there's only about 20,000 lions left in the world. So we are working hard with various conservation efforts out there, such as the Lion Conservation Fund, to hopefully double the species of lion out there in the wild by 2050. There are large burrows on our left here, most likely from warthogs, which are one of the largest burrowing animals, digging up those burrows using their snout, feet, and 2 sets of razor-sharp tusks. They've also been known to steal burrows from other animals. Really good view of the white rhinos over here. You might have noticed how there's lots of them out here. This is because white rhinos are very social, sticking together in groups called a crash. The other rhino species are very shy. And another one of the ostriches right next to some eggs. Obviously ostrich eggs, which are the largest of all bird eggs, and are so strong that a grown man can stand on one and it will not break. Another extremely rare animal there up on the left side is a scimitar horned oryx. Unfortunately, it's being poached for its horns on top of its head, which are shaped just like scimitar swords. They're a desert animal found in northern Africa and have been known to go up to 9 months without drinking a single drop of water. They're white to help reflect the sun away from their body to help cool themselves down. But they do not even start sweating until their body temperature reaches about 115 degrees. But we have reached the end of the reserve and the end of our safari. I have to take you back to the warden's post and drop you back off into the village. I really hope you enjoyed your time through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, saw your favorite African animal, and learned something new. Now do keep in mind you can always come back on another safari, because no safari is ever the same. The animals do make sure of that. If you'd like to help the animals you saw, I highly recommend donating to the Disney Conservation Fund at any food service or merchandise location here at Animal Kingdom. Every dollar you donate, Disney will match it. It is $1 for $1. 100% of the proceeds go straight to these animals to help support their conservation. You'll even get a Disney Conservation button after you donate. And check out our Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail here in Harambe to see lots of other African animals like western lowland gorillas, meerkats, and naked mole rats. Also over in Asia is the Maharaja Jungle Tracks, where you can see Asian animals like Komodo dragons, Malaysian bats, and Sumatran tigers.